just said, have a try.
Oh my gosh. Gia Bera. What is it?
You know, don't ask me.
No, no, please.
How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm well.
That's
Thank
great.
you for asking. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. My name is Avika, and I am from South Africa. Your name is Anand, and you are from India.
Yes, how do you know? And you are pronouncing my name correctly. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I am an Indian, actually. So that is why I can pronounce your name properly.
Okay, you are an Indian. So, where do you belong from?
They say that I am from the north of India, Delhi, up that
Delhi,
way. Hmm.
capital of
So
state.
I was raised in a Hindu culture. Though, would you believe me if I tell you that I have never been to India?
Yeah, I can see. I can see. I couldn't recognize you. You are Indian. Uh, but but now you told me that you are Indian. Then only I came to know you are Indian, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So
So where have
I
you
was
born and brought up?
in South Africa.
In South Africa.
You
How-
know,
Mhm.
mhm, um, in my country, in South Africa, we have many Indian people like me because, it goes back to our history, actually. Remember when the British colonized India
Yes.
and South Africa? Then in the 1800s, they brought Indian people on a ship, on a boat here. That is where my that is where my ancestors are from. Those 1800s, and then like generation after generations, after many generations, there's a lot of people like me here. We we have Hindus, Gujarati, Tamil, Telugus, you know, a little bit of all the Indian people in
Mhm.
this country. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it is awesome to hear that.
Right, you may. So, would you like to ask me any questions?
Yes, 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 of course. So, I think you have sort of colony of Indian people there, right?
A certain?
Like you have certain like city or colony,
Yes.
muhallas for Indian.
Yeah. Okay, so let me first tell you about my country, and then I will tell you what is the most popular city in this country for Indian people. So, my country, South Africa, we are a very, very diverse country. So we have white people, black people, colored people, which is if a white and a black person has a baby, and
Yes.
then of course we have Indian people. Now, the Indian population in my country is the smallest population. We are only about 12% of about 54 million people. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, my country is very diverse, as I have mentioned to you, which means we have many cultures and many different traditions all around our country.
Mhm.
And the good thing is, at least most of the time, we all respect each other's cultures, each other's traditions. We kind of like sometimes you'll find some conflict, but really it's a very small percentage of the time.
Mhm.
Now, having said that, the city in my country that homes most of the Indians is a city that is called Durban. I will
Durban.
tell you. Yes,
Yeah,
in
I
fact,
know. I
it's
know
my
Durban.
home city also. Yeah. So because you know what happened? Let me tell you about the history. So, when the British brought the Indian people to this country,
Mhm.
they took the Indian people to this city. Like, that's where we landed, right?
Okay.
So, we kind of like stayed there for many years, and we built our life, in that city. And of course, as the years progressed, Indian people ventured out into the other cities of our country. So you will find Indian people in the various different cities, but the majority of us live in Durban.
There. Yeah.
For example, myself, I was born and raised in Durban,
Mhm.
but I have traveled in South Africa. I am now living in another city. That's a 12-hour drive away from Durban. So yeah,
What is the name
that
of the city where you are living right now?
the city that I live in now is called Port Elizabeth. Um, Obviously named after Queen Elizabeth because of the colonization.
Mhm.
Um, However, Anand, there has been a name change. I think about 5 years ago. I think, and I'll tell you what's the new name for our city. Mm, it's a very You will see it in a minute, and I wonder if you can pronounce this name. Okay,
Okay.
there it is there. Have a try.
Oh my gosh. Gia Bera. What is it?
You Don't ask me.
No, no, please. Nonce. I would
I,
like to follow you.
I don't even know because
Mhm.
look here, I'm going to try. Kwebeha, kwebeha, kwebeha,
Guebeha.
kwebeha, kwebeha.
Guebeha.
Yeah,
Oh
but
gosh.
it must have a click. Kwebeha.
Guebeha. Like, it is difficult, really difficult.
It's so difficult for me also because let me tell you something else that's very interesting about my country. We have 11 official languages.
Oh gosh.
Exactly,
11.
right?
Yeah, it is too many.
Well, it is, but also it's got to do with our history. And I don't know if you know this, but my country became a democracy only in 1995. Sorry, 1994.
Oh, it is too, uh, just,
Too
26
recent.
years ago.
Yes,
Oh. So before
right?
this, like, yeah, I know about South Africa. It is very vast and diverse country. That's why I would love to go to South Africa because it is
Please do
very,
come.
yeah, yeah, it is very, like, people are very natural there. Still, they have natural vibes. So I love this country. I want to meet some tribes in your country because they are very Maasai tribes. These are very famous tribes, and I have seen few of the blogs that Indian travelers are traveling South Africa. So I'm kind of traveling a spirit. So I would love to visit your country. So let me know a
And
little bit about, like these tribes. Can you
mm,
put some light?
yes, absolutely, I can. I'm going to first start, in order for you to understand it, I'll first start off by saying that it's a very big country and we have 9 different provinces, like 9 different states, if you want
Mhm.
to call it that. And each state or each province has its own tribe.
Okay.
Now, for example, Durban, the city that I was born and raised in, we have what you call the Zulu tribe.
Lulu.
Zulu tribe, okay?
Mhm.
So they have their own language also, which is called Zulu, right?
Okay.
Now, the province that I live in now, which is in the Eastern Cape, the tribe here is called Xhosa.
Oza.
Xhosa, right?
Okay. Mhm.
Now, they have their own language, which is also called Xhosa. Now, The same applies to all the other seven provinces in my country. So those seven provinces plus this two makes nine languages.
Okay.
And English has always been the first language. And before democracy, the second language was a language called Afrikaans.
Afrikaans.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a little bit like Dutch. Okay. So years ago, English was the first language and Afrikaans was the second language. For example, when I was at school, I had to do English as my first language, and it was compulsory that I studied Afrikaans as my second language.
Okay.
However, since the democracy, the government added to the English and Afrikaans, they added the other nine languages as official languages.
That's why
So
you
what
have 11 official languages.
that's right.
Hmm.
So what this means is, for example, the people, the young generation that are at school now, they have a choice of a second language.
Hmm.
English will always be the first language, but depending on which province they live in, they can choose Zulu or Xhosa or Venda, whatever the traditional language is in that province.
Got it. So, yeah, like, how, like, what kind of, work they had to do, your ancestor had to do in South Africa when they had been, brought in South Africa?
Mm. Okay, well, it's a very good question, actually, Anand. And sadly, what happened was when the British colonized South Africa, they realized that this is a country with vast agricultural land. Obviously, the British wanted to capitalize on the land in this country for farming. But very quickly, they realized that they didn't have manpower. They didn't
Mm-hmm.
have people to work on the farm. So, this is where the Indians come in because they had already colonized India. So, it
Mm-hmm.
was easy for the British to bring the Indians over to this country, and they brought them here as slaves, unfortunately. So, my ancestors, our people, came here as slaves. They worked very hard. They labored very hard in the sugarcane plantations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got it, got it. Yeah,
So,
I knew a little bit about this history. Yeah,
mm,
because Gandhi he went to South Africa, so I know about that story, story of Gandhiji. So you would be knowing as well, I think.
it's in our history books as well, as it is probably in your history books also.
Yeah, and one Nelson Mandela is in our book as well. So
Absolutely.
African Gandhi, he is known as African Gandhi. Yeah,
Yes. I get goosebumps when we talk about Gandhiji and
Mandela.
Nelson Mandela. Yes.
Yeah.
They hold a very special place in my heart. Lovely to meet you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Same here. Bye. Yeah. See you soon.
See you on YouTube.
Yeah. Bye.